How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech and to our review of the ASUS TUF VG32VQ gaming monitor, which is a 1440p 144hz gaming monitor that's also quite large at 32 inches. Now, currently, pricing wise, the VG32VQ is retailing for around $430 on Amazon, or around 11,000 Rand on Dreamer Tech here in South Africa. So it is a bit more expensive than some other gaming monitors, but still not too much. And it still has some very nice features, which we're going to take a look at. Taking a look at the screen itself, the VG32VQ is a curved 31.5-inch 2560 by 1440p screen with a VA panel running at 144 Hz with a 1 millisecond response time. Along with that, it does also feature AMD's Freesync that does work on NVIDIA cards now, which is nice, so eliminates some screen tearing. It does have a shadow boost as well, and then also HDR10 for some people who might want to use that, but we'll get into that. Now, as for the design, the VG32 has a square stand with some red accents and Mayan inspired marks on it, giving that gaming feel, but it's also not too much in your face either. The square stand design is quite sturdy, so you won't have to worry about the monitor accidentally being pulled over. The stand also features a few angle adjustments for the screen. The screen is able to tilt 25 degrees and has a height adjustment of 14 centimeters. Also, it is able to swivel 62 degrees in either direction. The stand does also feature a cable management clip at the back, so you will be able to route your cables through that to keep it nice and neat, but we did find that the cable clip does accidentally come loose quite easily. So if you do have some thicker cables and accidentally pull on them with your feet or whatever, it might accidentally clip off, and then you'll have to redo all of your cable management. So there could have been a better implementation in our opinion. Also, if you wanted to mount your monitor to your wall, it does feature a VESA mount, so you do have that. But quickly take a look at your I/O. You do have two HDMI 2.0 ports, a DisplayPort 1.2, the DC power port, and then also a 3.5mm headphone out port. Also included in the box is a DisplayPort and also an HDMI cable, so you are sorted there, along with the power supply, which is actually not too big, and you'll be able to neatly hide that. Now, moving on to the panel, again, it is a VA panel, so you will be able to get that nice high refresh rate and also some decent color accuracy with much better viewing angles, but you might experience some ghosting going on. But from our testing while playing some games, we didn't really notice it. It might have been there, but it wasn't really noticeable. It does have a feature called ELMB, which ASUS claims will eliminate ghosting and tearing, which it does, but also at the sacrifice of some brightness and also some additional blurriness. The VG32 does have a contrast ratio of 3000 to 1, a 1 millisecond gray to gray response time, and it does have a max brightness of 400 nits, which is enough for its HDR 400, but because it's only HDR 400, is nothing really too special. It doesn't really make the image pop out as much as, let's say, HDR 1000. So yeah, if you wanted to, you can use it. We tried it on some Far Cry New Dawn, and it kind of looked a bit too dull, really. So we just left it off, and the game experience was great without it. As for the color accuracy, it is above average, covering 92% of the sRGB color gamut and 72% of the Adobe RGB color space. So if you want to do some color grading work, you will be able to. It's not the highest grade, but it's definitely good enough for just some YouTube videos or so on. Now, taking a quick look at the speakers, you do have two 2-watt internal speakers. That is loud enough. It sounds good enough. I would recommend getting some dedicated speakers because it doesn't have too much bass. And if you are looking for something really loud to party with, then yeah, it's definitely not gonna cut it. Now I'm happy to see that the VG32 does have a very thin bezel, measuring at only 8mm on the sides and the top, which does give you that real nice clean look. As for the viewing angles, because it is a VA panel, you do not get any color changes when you're viewing from the sides, and it does stay nice and sharp. The screen's display does have a non-glare coating on, so if you do sit in front or next to a window, you won't have any of that light shining on the screen and ruining your experience. But keep in mind that anti-glare does still reflect light if you do shine it close on or straight in front of the monitor. Now again, the VG32 is a curved 32-inch screen. The screen does also feature a 1800R curvature, which is definitely needed for the size of this monitor, making the viewing angles just a lot more natural to look at. As for the backlight bleed, the VG32 does have some, especially in the corners, but I didn't experience that really in the games. It wasn't that noticeable, and it's also because it's a large display, you will usually experience some, but it wasn't too bad. Now, as for the on-screen menu, you are able to access it by using the navigation joystick at the back right side of the monitor. You will also get 4 buttons that can be used to close the menu, open up the Game Plus menu, the Game Visual menu, and then also turn off the monitor. Inside the menu, you can access features like the blue light filter, color control, display input, and many more. With the Game Plus menu, you can add a dedicated crosshair, FPS counter, and a countdown timer to the screen, which are some nice extra features to have. Now, not everybody will use it. Some might even say that the on-screen crosshair is cheating, which I don't really see it is, but it is a nice feature just to have if you wanted to use it. As for the Game Visual menu, that allows you to quickly switch between the preset picture modes to whatever looks best for you. Now, getting into the gaming experience, the 144Hz is always a nice and a smooth, added with the 1440p resolution that really makes the gaming experience that much more enjoyable at that higher quality. The smoothness and high resolution really enhances your gaming experience, and combining that with the clean design and a nice thin bezels, it just looks and works great in any environment. So in conclusion, the VG32VQ, that long names again, is a nice gaming monitor that is a tiny bit more expensive than some, but you do get that very nice large size, the curvature, which is definitely needed again for that size, that 144Hz, which is just an awesome to have, and once you go 144Hz, you never want to go back, and then that resolution at 1440p, and it just makes the games look so much better. Now, being that it's a 1440p panel and you want to be able to play at that 144Hz, you might need to have a decent GPU, especially for some AAA titles. And that is where our previous review of the ASUS ROG Strix RX 5700XT might come in handy. So if you're looking for a new GPU, definitely check that out, because it is a great GPU for 1440p gaming. So if you want to get the ASUS TUF VG32VQ for yourself, definitely check out the links in the video description, because it is a nice gaming monitor to play on. We enjoyed our time with it plenty. And then also a big thanks to ASUS South Africa for sending the monitor over for review. A shout out to them. And if you guys enjoyed this review, please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. And then I will check all of you next time. Cheers, guys.